Crime Detectives.
On Sunday, November 14, 2021, surveillance cameras captured the presence of Alexandra Morgan, a 34-year-old woman, at a gas station near Cranbrook, Kent. However, since that day, she has not been seen by anyone. Concerned about their daughter's sudden disappearance, her parents reported the incident to the police 4 days later. As the investigation unfolded, it revealed a series of hidden truths that someone had hoped would remain concealed forever. The shocking reality that emerged was far more terrifying than anyone could have anticipated. Known affectionately as Alex by her loved ones, Alexandra Morgan was a single mother raising 2 children, aged 4 and 11 at the time, in Wilsley Pound, Cranbrook, Kent. She did not maintain relationships with the fathers of her children, making her task of raising them alone even more challenging. Despite the difficulties, Alexandra was described by those who knew her as a vibrant and ambitious woman who was determined to provide her children with everything they needed. She aspired to give them a better life and took various steps towards achieving that goal. On November 13, 2021, Alexandra arranged a meeting with her parents and entrusted her 2 children to their care, informing them that she was embarking on a spa vacation with friends. She assured them that she would return in 3 days. However, on November 17th, when Alexandra failed to retrieve her children as planned and remained unresponsive to calls and messages, her parents grew increasingly worried. This behavior was out of character for her. After numerous unsuccessful attempts to locate their missing daughter, her parents had no choice but to involve the police. Recognizing the peculiar circumstances surrounding Alexandra Morgan's disappearance, the Kent police treated it as a potential crime. In the initial stages of the investigation, the police focused on determining the spa destination Alexandra had mentioned to her parents. They sought to identify the friends she claimed to be traveling with. Little did they know the daunting challenges they would encounter while searching for Alexandra. The police obtained surveillance footage from a gas station in Cranbrook, which captured the last known sighting of the woman. Alexandra's white Mini Cooper played a crucial role in determining her location. On the morning of November 14th, she filled up her car with fuel, made some purchases, and departed. Initially, nothing seemed out of the ordinary in the surveillance footage. Rose McCauley, the gas station manager who had a friendly relationship with Alexandra for 17 years, witnessed her buying PS10 worth of gas, along with a coffee and a snack before her disappearance. Rose expressed her concern, stating, "I don't think anyone knows what has happened to her or where she has gone. The fact that her car hasn't been spotted since then is a complete mystery. A friend and I searched Hastings for it but found nothing. Alex is not one to shy away. So I don't believe she is avoiding coming home out of fear. I just hope she is safe and reappears soon. It's truly troubling." When she visited that Sunday, Alex was impeccably dressed with a full face of makeup, styled hair, and elegant attire. She appeared more glamorous than ever before, arriving very early in the morning, which was unusual for her. Alex seemed cheerful and was smiling during interviews with Alexandra's friends. Detectives discovered that in 2018, she had shared details on social media about a stalker who was monitoring her activities. In a post from 2019, she uploaded an image with the caption "Hi stalker, Alexandra had written, 'Stop stalking my page, lovelies.' It's quite sad. Not only that, but you're making it more obvious by the day, seeing as we are not even friends on Facebook. Nothing to see here, pal, unless I want you to. If you carry on, I will post your antics for all to see. Have a lovely day." The investigators were determined to uncover the connection between the mysterious messages and Alexandra's disappearance. The police spokesperson expressed deep concern, stating that it was highly unusual for Alexandra to cut off contact with her family, leading them to treat the case as a potential murder. As they continued their investigation, they urged anyone who had seen Alexandra or her distinctive white Mini Cooper with a black roof to come forward. Even if unsure, they encouraged people to report any suspicious sightings. Descriptions of Alexandra's appearance were shared, emphasizing her height, slim build, and brown shoulder-length hair. The The last known outfit she wore included a green knee-length quilted coat, a black top, ripped blue jeans, knee-high black boots, and a silver necklace. Disappearances often leave no trace or clues, making them challenging for the police to solve. However, this case took a different turn. Alexandra's digital footprint provided crucial leads, uncovering shocking secrets along the way. Unbeknownst to her loved ones, Alexandra had ventured into the world of escorting to improve her financial situation. Unfortunately, this line of work made her incredibly vulnerable, as the police were well aware. They understood that escorts never knew who their next client would be, a regular person seeking companionship or a dangerous predator. The investigators made a breakthrough when they discovered that Alexandra had arranged a meeting with her regular client before vanishing. They swiftly apprehended this individual. Meanwhile, the police spokesperson's statement left no room for hope, indicating that Alexandra had tragically lost her life. Kent police spokesperson informed the public that a man has been arrested by detectives from the Kent and Essex Serious Crime Directorate in connection with the disappearance of a woman from Sissinghurst. The arrest took place on Thursday, November 25, 2021, and the 40-year-old man from St. Leonards-on-Sea is being held on suspicion of murder. Kent police, with the assistance of Sussex police, are conducting searches in 3 locations in the Hastings and St. Leonards-on-Sea area as part of their efforts to locate Alexandra. As the investigation continues, residents can expect to see an increased police presence in the area. The individual who has been arrested is identified as Mark Brown, a construction worker who was married and had a son. Surprisingly, his family had no suspicions about his double life. Alexandra had met with him multiple times before her disappearance, and it was during these encounters that Brown, on one occasion, even bought her a Mini Cooper. Their initial meeting took place on June 8, 2021, after Brown came across her profile on an adult website. The meeting occurred at Alexandra's residence in Sissinghurst near Cranbrook, Kent, and everything seemed to go well, leading to subsequent occasional meetings. On June 21st, nearly 2 weeks later, they met again. But this time Alexandra went to Little Bridge Farm near Hastings, Kent, which Brown had rented for his encounters with women and other purposes. Over the course of August and September, they met 7 more times, with Alexandra remaining unaware of the dangerous situation she was getting herself into. On October 23, 2021, Brown sent her a text message proposing a risk-free business transaction, which caught Alexandra's attention. The proposal involved £100,000, 35 days at a hotel under Brown's supervision, a new identity, a reliable vehicle, and money for shopping. All she needed to do was step outside for a cigarette, collect the cash, and make some purchases. Despite the enticing offer, it is worth noting that Alexandra's online searches after receiving this proposal demonstrated her desire to improve the lives of her children. One of these searches was related to the minimum deposit required for purchasing a house in 2021. A variety of additional searches indicated Alexandra's desire to establish new businesses using the money she anticipated earning. Some of the internet searches included inquiries such as how much can you earn running a sunbed shop UK? And how much tax would I pay on $100,000? When Alexandra informed her parents about going to the spa with her friends, she was actually planning to meet Mark Brown at the farm. Leaving the house on November 14th, CCTV footage captured her purchasing gas in Cranbrook at 7:20 a.m. She arrived at Little Bridge Farm around 8 a.m. 3 days later, on November 17th, Brown relocated Alexandra's car to Holmhurst Lane, St. Leonards, after previously swapping her license plate with a counterfeit one. Alexandra's mother contacted the police on November 18th after her daughter failed to collect the children and ceased communication. On November 23rd, CCTV footage revealed Alexandra's car trailing Brown's Jaguar on the route to Little Bridge Farm. Kent police blocked access to the farm and initiated questioning with Brown. He acknowledged meeting Alexandra but claimed she departed after 45 minutes. Brown consented to providing his fingerprints and a DNA sample to the police. Subsequently, on November 25th, Brown was apprehended as the primary suspect in the Alexandra Morgan case. Leah Ware, a 33-year-old mother of 3 who did not have custody of her children, was an animal enthusiast dedicated to her horse, 3 goats, and 2 dogs, a Mastiff named Duke and a Pomeranian named Lady. Ware first encountered Mark Brown on March 25, 2018, when he contacted her through an escort website where she advertised her services. This was the same platform where Brown would later meet Alexandra Morgan. By the conclusion of 2018, Brown and Ware had commenced a romantic relationship and began cohabiting in an apartment they rented together. Following the expiration of the lease 6 months later, she relocated to Brown's property at Little Bridge Farm, residing in a shipping container. Brown characterized their relationship as tumultuous. Leah's lifestyle was known to be quite chaotic. She relied on benefits and received weekly payments, which were often managed by Brown. Despite her history of substance abuse and mental health issues, many people believed she was making an effort to regain custody of her children. According to Leah's mother, she described her daughter as an angel, emphasizing Leah's preference for animals over school. Unfortunately, Leah's relationship with Brown came to an end after 3 years when she disappeared in May 2021. On the evening of May 5th and the early hours of May 6th, Leah spent time with Jack Tyler, a friend and convicted drug dealer, engaging in substance use together. Their relationship was intimate, and it was the last time anyone saw Leah. The last outgoing call from her phone was made on May 7th at 8:55 a.m., leading the police to believe that she passed away on that day. Surprisingly, Mark Brown returned to the website where he initially met Leah 2 weeks later. On June 8, 2021, Alexandra had her first encounter with Brown at her home, unaware that just a month prior, another woman who was involved with Brown had vanished without a trace. During the investigation, detectives discovered revealing messages sent by Brown to his high school girlfriend, which were unrelated to Alexandra but instead focused on Leah Ware. They read, "I'm going to be very careful how I word this. It happened again, not very long ago. When disposing of something, it's a very unpleasant thing to do. An old oil drum, 5 liters of diesel, and hey presto, there's not very much left. It gets hot, very hot. It glows almost white. The things I have done weigh heavily on my heart, on my head, and my soul. A psychopath with a conscience." It's a joke. Really, investigators began to suspect that Alexandra Morgan was deceased, and even more alarming, that she was not the sole victim of Mark Brown. A representative from the Sussex Police Major Crime Team stated, "Despite extensive investigations, we have been unable to locate Leah or her body, and we are appealing to the public for assistance in finding her or any information related to her disappearance following Brown's arrest on November 25, 2021. The authorities conducted a search of his farm. Within a barrel, they discovered recent evidence of burning. Upon examination, experts confirmed that the contents consisted of bones and teeth, conclusively identified as the remains of Alexandra Morgan. In a joint statement, Neil Kimber from the Kent Police and Andy Wolstenholme from the Sussex Police expressed, "Our thoughts are with the families of both Alexandra and Leah during this challenging time. While we have located Alexandra's remains, we are still searching for Leah, and our investigations are ongoing. We urge anyone with information regarding either Leah or Alexandra to urgently contact us." Leah was described by the police as a white female, approximately 5 feet tall, with a slim build, long black hair, and blue eyes. They mentioned the possibility of her having tattoos, including a dragon on her right leg, Chinese writing on her right hip, and a fairy sitting on a flower with the name Ryan on her right leg. The search at Brown's farm lasted approximately 1 month, concluding on January 7, 2022. In a pond, the police discovered the bones of a Pomeranian with a weight attached to its collar. Investigators believed it to be Leah's dog, which Brown heartlessly disposed of following Leah's demise. Although Leah Ware's remains were not found, Brown was charged with her murder on February 1, 2022, in addition to the previous charge of Alexandra Morgan's murder. During the interrogation, Brown vehemently denied the accusations against him. Nevertheless, upon being presented with the evidence suggesting that he had disposed of Alexandra Morgan's body through fire, he confessed to her death. However, Mark Brown remained steadfast in his claim that Alexandra's demise was accidental. The trial of Mark Brown commenced on October 17, 2022, revealing new information about both cases. It was disclosed during the court proceedings that Brown had been making regular withdrawals from Leah Ware's bank account following her disappearance. After Leah vanished on May 7, 2021, Brown retrieved her prescription medication and withdrew money from an ATM using her new bank card. Subsequently, he would deliver the card to his sister Cheryl's address, leaving the cash and medication in a horse box belonging to their pet, Birdie. Prosecution lawyer Duncan Atkinson highlighted several instances in the weeks following Leah Ware's disappearance when Brown withdrew the maximum amount of PS200 from her account, causing her balance to plummet from over PS2000 to a mere PS45. Jurors were informed that in July 2021, Brown withdrew PS200 from Leah Ware's account twice shortly after transferring PS200 to his own account. When questioned about this, Brown claimed, "I likely used her PS2000 and then reimbursed it. At that time, someone owed me PS430, so they probably repaid me." Atkinson retorted, "The truth is that the withdrawals from Leah Ware's account were not for her benefit but for yours. Is it merely a coincidence that she passed away after receiving her new bank card?" Brown responded, "I am unaware of what you are insinuating because to my knowledge, she is still alive." Atkinson pressed further, "You were essentially living off MS. Where's money, weren't you? You knew Leah was in a situation where money would not be of assistance to her." Brown retorted, "I am unsure of what reality you are residing in." Testimony during the trial revealed that Leah desired Brown to leave his wife for her, as stated by one of her friends. This revelation may have influenced Brown's decision to commit the crime. During the trial concerning the tragic death of Alexandra Morgan, Brown restated his belief that her passing was purely accidental. According to him, Alexandra had slipped and fallen onto a tool in the workshop he had rented at Little Bridge Farm, resulting in a fatal blow to her head. Brown recounted how he immediately rushed to her side and was horrified to discover a significant amount of blood. In a state of panic, he quickly grabbed a towel in an attempt to stem the bleeding. However, when he moved her head to place the towel underneath, the bleeding only intensified. The prosecution lawyer, Duncan Atkinson, objected to Brown's account, pointing out that the presence of blood around Alexandra's head indicated that she was already injured and in need of immediate medical attention. Brown acknowledged this but explained that his initial reaction was driven by panic, causing him to prioritize stopping the bleeding. He further justified not calling an ambulance right away, as he believed it would not arrive in time to save Alexandra. Brown emphasized that his main focus was on halting the bleeding. After attempting CPR and confirming Alexandra's passing by checking for breath, Brown described his actions in the following minutes. He used jumpers to prevent blood from seeping out under the workshop door, stepped outside to vomit due to the overwhelming situation, and retrieved his phone to call emergency services. It was at this point that Brown made the ill-advised decision to conceal the incident. He wrapped Alexandra's body in a sleeping bag and placed a towel around her head to prevent further blood loss. Brown explained that he felt trapped, unsure of how to prove that her death was an accident. In a regrettable move, he decided to dispose of Alexandra's body using an incinerator he had constructed from an old oil drum, which he regularly used for waste disposal. He expressed, "I had heard rumors about people burning bodies, and I wanted to prevent anyone from stumbling upon a discarded body." Consequently, Brown asserted that he had no involvement in Leah Ware's disappearance and believed that she was still alive, while Alexandra's death was supposedly an accident. However, during the trial, Brown's boss testified in court. The boss revealed that Brown had warned him about the possibility of being arrested by the police. This conversation occurred on November 24th. When questioned about the reason for potential arrest, Brown responded, "For a double murder, this statement held significant weight." Through this response, Brown indirectly acknowledged Leah Ware's death and refuted the notion that Alexandra Morgan's demise was accidental. Nonetheless, Brown denied ever uttering those words. He stated, "No, I said I'm going away for 25 to life. I don't know where he got double from. I said I would be arrested for one murder." "I didn't say double," Atkinson remarked when asked. "Who have you killed?" The appropriate answer should have been no one, Brown replied. "Indeed, it should have been yes, but I didn't anticipate that outcome. I couldn't prove my innocence regarding Alex's death, and I didn't believe anyone would believe me. That's why I resorted to my actions." Both Leah and Alexandra were cherished mothers, daughters, and much more to their families and friends. They tragically lost their lives in the cruelest manner, falling victim to a deranged individual. They left behind children and devastated families throughout the murder trial at the Crown Court. The jurors were acquainted with the lives of Leah Ware and Alexandra Morgan, from their upbringing to their relationships, work, and passions. The jurors also heard Brown's attempts, as the prosecutor once stated, to tarnish their reputations by painting a false image of these women. It is crucial that people remember Leah Ware and Alexandra Morgan for their joyful moments and zest for life. Both of them deserve to be cherished in the memories of their loved ones for their numerous admirable qualities. On December 1st, 2022, a jury consisting of 10 men and 2 women reached a unanimous verdict, finding 41-year-old Brown guilty on all charges. Judge Nicholas Hilliard emphasized the severity of the case, acknowledging the devastating impact on the victims' families. He declared that Brown would be sentenced to life imprisonment, with the determination of the minimum prison term and the possibility of parole to be decided. The judge also mentioned that any cooperation from Brown regarding Leah Ware's whereabouts would be taken into consideration during sentencing. Despite the opportunity, Brown chose not to disclose this information. Prior to the sentencing, the court heard a poignant victim impact statement from Leah Ware's mother, expressing the ongoing anguish caused by Brown's actions. The court also heard from Alex Morgan's parents, highlighting her positive attributes and aspirations for the future. On January 13, 2023, Mark Brown was sentenced to 2 life terms, with the possibility of parole after 49 years. Judge Hilliard, who delivered the sentence in Brown's absence, emphasized that no punishment could ever fully compensate for the lives lost, acknowledging the irreparable harm caused by the defendant's actions.